welcome back to the channel. Today what I'm going to be showing you how to do is to make a short shifter for your O2J transmission. So this is like any Mark IV transmission, or even an O2A if you swap the shift tower from the O2J over. This only applies to the pin style. First thing you got to do is take the shifter off of the transmission. So I have one here, right there. And what you do is you back this, you undo the nut all the way and then just get it right to where it's flush. And you just hit this with a hammer as you're pulling up and it'll break the taper. Because it is like a spline kind of fit. Just, there it is. Loose. Get the 13 back. Okay, most of the way. You probably got the rest of the way. There it goes. This is the OEM one. So here you guys will see that I have two different shifters. So this one is actually out of a TT. So this is an OEM short shifter. You can just buy it, bolt this right in, works great. But they're kind of hard to find, relatively expensive, probably like 60, 70 bucks, whatever. But I'm gonna show you the differences and then how to make your own version of it. So here you can see everything's basically the same. The weight, how it bolts in, all that. The only thing that's different is right here. So you see this pin on the TT is much further in than a standard Mark IV O2J. You see how much meat you have left on there? Whereas this one is basically all the way in. What we're gonna do is measure exactly where this pin is, and then we have to grind this bottom plate off, and then we're gonna drive the pin out. The pin is steel, the shifter is aluminum. So we'll grind this off, punch it out, and then we'll make a mark exactly where this one is. See here, this is an even better representation of it. You can see those differences. Let's see if I can get better lighting. You can instantly see that difference. Here's the Mark IV, it's way out here. Here's the TT225, it's almost at the bottom. So what we're gonna do is get this height, we'll put it right here, punch it, drill the hole out, and then what we're going to do is we will run a tap down through the hole, and we will take the pin and we'll run a die over it. That way we're basically making it into a bolt. And when we make it into a bolt, just put some red Loctite on it, screw it in, you're done. Sounds easy, but this does take a little bit of time. So first step is going to be grinding this pin out and driving it out. We have to grind down this right here. Now make sure you have your glasses on, ear protection, have a door open, because when you're making metal grinding dust, a lot of it goes in the air. Should be wearing a mask, but it'll fog up my glasses, it's annoying. So my tool of choice is this little right angle grinder with a flap wheel. Usually these flap wheels take a lot off very, very quickly. If you had like one of those big electric grinders, you get a flap disc just like this. That's the best course of action. Otherwise, just figure it out. There's plenty of ways to cut stuff. Should be able to see the outline. You see how the colors are kind of different. You can still see a little circle there. You can see that I grinded it down. So now we're gonna put a dot right in the center of that to punch, and then we're just gonna drive it out. All right guys, so just that's not working. I'm just gonna use an air hammer. I'm annoyed with it. All right guys, so this is what worked perfect. It's been a while since I've done this. As doing it, I realized, the best way to probably do this is to use the air hammer with a pointer bit, and I've got a socket that fits perfectly around it. And then now you just hammer it through, and it's out, see? And here's the pin. Next thing we're gonna do is find the measurement, drill out the shifter. What we need is the center of this pin to basically the bottom right here. I think right there, center. We'll lock it down. It's about 8 mil. Since we lock this down at the 8 mil, we can just put it right here and mark it. For a M8 by 1.25 thread, because we're gonna be tapping it and making these threads, we have to drill up to a 7/32. So we'll come down here, we'll start at the bottom and just keep coming up. It's aluminum, so it'll be kind of easy. And then we'll end up right here at 7/32. So now that we're up to the drill bit size, now I got the tap. Gonna clean it. Shouldn't use a drill, but it'll be fine. Using better set of drill bits. But here's a bolt going in it with the right thread pitch. You can see it actually gets tight. There you go. So this is threaded. See, the holes are now basically centered right there. But there is, you can see there's like this kind of weird notch right here. So what I'm going to do, what I usually do, is just kind of round this like that. So I cut all this top portion off, because this little grind right here actually is for the shifter area. Right here is kind of notched, that way it doesn't hit anything. It will hit the hit and bind on the shifter itself. So we're just gonna cut this off real quick and just grind it, make it look nice. I did grind it down. I ground it down a little bit more than I wanted to, but I would leave more on there. I got a little carried away with it, sorry. So now the final step is to put the pin in. I got it clamped in a vise pretty good, but I put a rag around so it doesn't mess up the surface, because you need this part sticking out. Because what you need to do is get a M8 by 1.25 die. You gotta put it on and just make new threads. It's a pain, but you can get through it. Fuck off. Alright guys, so now it's finally starting to cut. So you gotta like go a little bit back off to get all the metal out. Getting really close. You just go like this, that way you break it all free. There you can see we're pretty much bottomed out. It's always a good idea to take it out and look at what you got. Pretty darn close to all the way. The reason I can't get all the way down is because there's actually two sides of these taps, these dies I mean, where one is tapered and the other side is not. So now I'm gonna use the side that's not. You're technically not supposed to use this side, but when you gotta get all the way down on something, that's what you gotta do. It's Matco, they'll give me a new one. There we go. Definitely snapped a tooth off, but like I said, they'll give me another one. I think I got it. Yep, all the way down. So now you can see it is now threaded. So this is technically a bolt now. And now it'll just screw right into the shifter and take Loctite and just douse it. Just completely soak this thing. You do not want this coming off. Now we thread it in, just like it's just a screw, bolt, whatever you want to call it. And grab the base of it. That's probably the best spot. One more crank will do it. So there you go guys, this is your very own short shifter to copy the TT. You see it's right on par with it. You should have absolutely no issues with this. The best part of this is it was all free. If you have the transmission already, it's free. If you are doing the O2J shifter conversion in your O2A, it's free because you already have the part. You're just modifying it. I've personally done this on probably 4 or 5 shifters and never once had an issue. If you think you're gonna have an issue, if you're scared to do it, don't do it. But if you have the tools, you are good with your hands, you like doing this type of thing, go for it. The worst thing you can do is ruin it. And then guess what? There's so many Mark IVs in the junkyards now that you can go there. You can probably buy that piece for 10 bucks. If you like this kind of content, these Volkswagen DIYs, like, comment, subscribe. There will be plenty more to come. You can check out the playlist description. I'll have all of the Mark I VR6 Turbo playlist. I have the Mark II VR6 that is now getting a 3.6 swap, and then the Mark III 1.8T swap that is a full playlist from a 2-liter Mark III to a successfully running, driving 25 pounds of boost Mark III 1.8T. So check that out. And then I have a little description, or sorry, I also have a playlist specifically just for DIYs like this. I have doing some Cerakote at home. I have doing electrical terminal pliers, or sorry, electrical pin tools specifically for Volkswagen Audi. So go ahead, check that stuff out. Like, comment, and subscribe. That's all I can ask for. And see you guys in the next one.